review. The opposition's apparently split on whether to support your tax cuts. Why should they?
Well, they're all over the shop, aren't they? That's the truth. And we have a plan that we will put to the Parliament of every Australian taxpayer getting a tax cut. People on average incomes getting double what they were going to get before. So when you look at Australia's largest barracks here that I visited, overwhelmingly, those fine men and women who serve in our uniform will get double the tax benefit. People here in Townsville, across the electorate of Herbert, 68,000 more people are going to get a bigger tax cut than if this change does not occur. And for locals, that means $1,535 more in people's pockets. That's $1,500 that's being spent in small businesses, creating jobs and economic activity here in Herbert. 87% of people living in Townsville and surrounds will get more this July as a result of this change. And we know that. The Coalition talk a lot about cost of living pressures, but they vote against all of them. They voted against cheaper medicines. They voted against cheaper childcare. They voted against our energy price relief plan we put in place in partnership with the Queensland Government. They deride the 300,000 fee-free TAFE places that we have. And they're so addicted to saying no to everything that Susan Ley, her first response was to say that they were going to fight it and they were against it. They didn't know what it was. It was before the announcement. And then after they found out what it was, she said that the Coalition would roll it back. That is, that they would go to the next election calling for higher taxes for 12 million Australians, and those 12 million Australians, low and middle income earners, are the big beneficiary. We've targeted this fairly and squarely at middle Australia, but as well we've made sure that everyone gets a tax cut so that those people earning under $45,000 a year are not left behind.
The $10 billion reinsurance scheme just hasn't worked. Would you support calls for insurance companies to share their data with the public and the community and the Queensland Government? What else needs to happen for insurance companies to be above board and work with the community?
Well, of course, before the election, the Coalition made some big promises about insurance, and it hasn't resulted in what they said it would do before the 2019 election and afterwards. And the member for Leichhardt made some big promises and commitments as well about the impact. We think transparency is always a good idea, and we will continue to work through our Minister, Murray Watt, another great Queenslander who was here just days ago, to make sure that people are looked after. People who have insurance should get their payouts. People need to be looked after. I think that's what Australians expect, and that's what people in Queensland expect as well.
Prime Minister, obviously we've had some pretty wild weather over the last couple of months up here in the north, and now there's some more weather concerns in the southeast. Can we expect to see any more federal funding when it comes to supporting this region?
We're constantly putting in federal funding into this region, and even with the incidents that occurred over the weekend, we're providing support for local government here in partnership with, of course, the state government. When Queenslanders need the federal government's help, they will receive it.
Do you find it more